Hello everyone, welcome back once again to On the Couch with David and Travis.
This is episode 23, Ray 3, which I think is a brilliant title because very early in the show they foreshadowed by having the first episode about Ray.
Yeah.
Ray 1, Ray 2, and you think, oh, okay, well this is the first Ray episode, second
Yeah.
Ray episode. But this is actually what we're seeing, the third Ray.
Yeah.
Which is a great little piece, a little nugget of juice going on there. I don't know, this is going to be kind of hard to talk about because this is, for me, just a fantastic piece of storytelling of an episode. They do so much in this 25 minutes, it is ridiculous.
Well, it was funny because I thought like the first half of it was like really super intense and that could have been like an entire episode on its own. Mm-hmm. And then like you have the midway break and you're like, oh, there's still more that's going to be happening.
And the whole second act was really, really wild too.
Yeah.
It was just really well done. There's some great lines. God, that line when they're saying, okay, get Unit 1 ready, send it out. And Asuka says, you could do this for her, not me. Mm-hmm. It's sort of like a quick throwaway line, but I think that one sort of hits you. You're like, oh, yeah. That's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, Gendo's kind of horrible.
The imagery in that beginning section, though, with just the thick veins and then the bubbling flesh again, and it's sort of inflating up, is so disturbing, and it's so well done.
Yeah.
And we get sort of that ghostly Ray. This angel is shaped kind of like a halo. I think that's sort of the obvious thing they're going for there. But it's also just sort of like a stringy beam of light. And, I mean, they're really not subtle about this imagery because you can see it's like going into her. And then on the big screen, it's like penetrating.
Yeah,
and it's like it's got pregnant. But it works for the scene. Ray's sort of suicide mission blow-up thing, I think, is actually pretty sad.
Yeah. I don't understand, like, mechanically how that works, but it was sad.
Yeah. And I knew this because I've just picked this up watching some other Japanese things. But I know Namida is Tears, and that's what the Japanese title of the episode is called. Mm. And that was another big focal point, was Rei finally showing emotion and crying. Mm-hmm. Shinji being so distraught with his emotions that he was physically unable to cry.
Yeah.
But, God. And I think there's a lot of criticism, sort of what we talked about before, with the whole otaku culture thing. Especially the idea of sort of at the point where Rei finally starts becoming a character and showing emotion, she has to be killed off.
Yeah.
And it has all those, like, God, it's a terrifying image of those sort of floating naked rays, all with those smiling faces.
Oh yeah, that's freaky.
And then she hits the switch and they start decomposing, or just sort of like falling apart.
Disseminating.
What I really do like about this show, and this is a fantastic, another element of storytelling, is there are serious and upheld consequences to what goes on. Asuka does not just get back in this episode. It's like, I'm ready to do it again.
Yeah.
She is completely unable to pilot. She is completely catatonic. She is absolutely depressed.
Yeah.
And it carries over, and that's great. Rei coming back the third time, it's interesting how they do it, because she's partly aware. She says, oh, I must be the third one. She doesn't remember some things from the previous, but the way she sort of squeezes his glasses sort of implies that
she knows.
She's a new thing. There's a newfound contempt for her creator, if you will.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and what's really attention to detail, or maybe just them being lazy, but it also works out well for them. The first thing I noticed when this third Ray, I should say, comes and, she's in the hospital, she has the same exact bandages that she had in the first episode when the second Ray comes out.
And they show she takes them off and there's no actual injury, so it's all superficial.
Yeah, and it's exactly the same thing, so we know that it's just another version of Ray, and that they're connected somehow, just with that physical image, which is brilliant.
And that stuff is great, and it's sad, but what really sells this episode for me is the Ritsuko stuff. That stuff hit me pretty hard. I think that ending is... Well, I mean, first of all, you have the scene where he decides not to send Rei to the council, to send her, and she has to present herself naked. And there's that great moment, where she says, I'm not ashamed of my body. But it is sort of like a harrowing event.
Yeah. Well, like the first line that one of the Sailor representatives says, like, we don't want this to be degrading, and the image is her as a naked woman, like, in front of all these men. So, of course, it already is. But at the same time...
Well, to call Sailor men is kind of like...
I should say their voices.
Yeah.
It's implied.
They do have
masculine
voices, but they're... Yeah,
it implies that as male gaze. So when they say it's not supposed to be degrading, and then you have her being naked, as this woman who has not been previously really all that much sexualized before, it's a harrowing sight to see.
And it ties in all the parental stuff, because it gets sort of revealed that she has some sort of relationship with Gendo. I think it's pretty heavily implied that it's a sexual relationship, again, that he's using to manipulate her, just like with her mother. And when she comes to this realization and has that breakdown, that is a sad scene.
Oh, Ritsuko.
And she's just sort of sobbing, saying, there's a lot of, I'd rather be dead, so I wish I was dead in this episode.
But what I love, and why I kind of like Masato a little bit, is she's like, if you wish you're dead, then you are a fool.
Because if you put that much value in what Gendo thinks of you, then you are stupid.
Yeah. What I like about Masato is that even though, like, things are going really horrible right now, and she's like, I'm lonely, she still has that drive to be like, I still have to figure out what's going on.
She's still being the mom. She's taking charge.
Yeah, and that is commendable, because we have a lot of characters who have these emotional downfalls.
Basically catatonic, the entire cast.
Yeah, and, Masato's like, great, start doing something about it.
And it's not to say that Ritsuko isn't a fantastic character. She is.
No, not that they're bad characters, but it's like Masato's kind of like like...
Literally, she slaps her.
Literally, it's like, all right, you had a bad life, we get it, and that's horrible.
But we need to come together.
But I have, like, my basically boyfriend just died, and everyone is abandoning me, but I still have to figure this out because I have to worry about the rest of the world. And a lot of the characters, while they do have, like, the really emotional, psychological hurt inside of them, they don't have the resilience that she has.
No.
Which is why I admire her so much.
She's great. And there's just a lot of the scene where Rei is sort of talking to herself or talking to the angels about loneliness is great. Because we don't really get that many Rei moments in the show. This is one of the best episodes of the whole show. It's not like my favorite, but it's just like for what it is, everything is extremely entertaining. Everything is extremely well done. Again, the visuals are so incredibly detailed.
And intense. That veins. Ooh.
I think they're like decomposing bodies with the fact that they had smiles on their faces, and they actually went that extra level of having the nipples on the bodies, which makes it, I think, that much more uncomfortable.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because before this, they've strayed away from doing that.
And like it is made to be as creepy as possible. Like Gendo is made to be like this guy's. I don't want to say a pervert. But at the same time, like, it's supposed to be disgusting to us.
Yes. And I mean, it's no more evident than, okay, you have the Ritsuko scene where you don't actually see, like, you see her backside, but you don't actually see, because that scene's supposed to be a different type of uncomfortable.
Yeah, yep, exactly.
So they're very smart in how they leverage both those scenes.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong objectively about like nudity in these kinds of scenes, but they have to be used effectively.
And they're both used. They have an extreme purpose in both these
exactly.
scenes.
Ritsuko is a very interesting character at the end of this episode. Not what I saw coming, but in a way.
They kind of keep her together pretty well right up until here. But yeah, so that.
Well, I love the scene where, where Ritsuko, like calls Shinji and she's like, "You have to come here. I have to show you something," and it's because she knew that Masato was going to, at least that's how I interpret it, is that she knew Masato was going to like force her to show her, so then she's like, well, I'm gonna have Shinji as leverage too.
And God, just the idea of, so Gendo has this wife that he loves and cares about, it's the whole world. She dies. So he takes advantage of this woman in his life to get what he wants. And this woman has a daughter that wants, with every inch of her body, to be the opposite of her mother. And she ends up doing the exact same thing as her.
Yeah.
And he's doing that with the mother. It's extremely deplorable, like you said.
Yeah.
And you throw the whole Rei part into the equation.
And, I mean, it has the tinges of, like, pedophilia.
I think it's absolutely supposed to. I don't think it's... Yeah.
It's ugh. It's ugh. That's for sure. It's horrible.
I can't find anything to criticize with these past few episodes.
They're both really good.
They're just really... really entertaining, really smart, really well, and really tight. Nothing here is wasting our time. We do have a scene with like the class rep girl, but it's Asuka's scene in relation to her, not her scene.
Yeah, exactly.
And that scene is so sad too.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, she had to play a Sega Genesis. Oh,
it was a Sega Saturn.
Oh, Sega Saturn. Oh, even worse. I feel so bad for her. No wonder she's going through this emotional turmoil.
And it feels like with these last 2 episodes, I don't know if they were just saving their budget, minus that elevator scene, the animation has been really, really high quality.
Definitely. They're going out with a bang, that's for sure.
At this point, I mean, we can get into some other things eventually, but it's hard to just say anything other than watch this, see what you feel, see what you think. I think it'd be hard to watch something like this, see the rest of the show, and not have some sort of reaction to it.
Agreed. All right, we'll see you for next episode
This
24.
24. This is the last of the sort of true episodes. And this is a lot of people, I'd say the majority of people's favorite episode. It's not my favorite, but a lot of people, it's their absolute favorite.
I'm excited.
So come up on 24, we're getting to the end here of both the show, the character's mental state, and our own.
I was going to say, psychologically, I'm reaching the end of my rope.
No, don't do rope imagery.